Good morning. Okay, so today is day 7. We are officially closing out week 1. I cannot believe it. So let's start with our daily card pull from the Mystic Mondays Tarot card um, for the energy for today. And like always, my style is to pull a card, talk about the energies for today in conjunction with the astrology, just so that we know what energies we are working with today. So, wherever you are in the world, please let us know. And you don't have to follow, you don't have to watch every day of this journey, but it does help because we build upon ideas from the previous days. So, yeah, happy that you're here. Okay, 1, 2, 3. What are, oh, 2 of Cups. That came out very quickly. 2 of Cups is Venus in Cancer. This is union energy. When a lot of people read this card, it's about soulmates, it's about union, it's about true love. And this can be union with self, union with others, friendships, partnerships of all kinds. Doesn't have to just be romantic, but it is love, a deep love, because Venus in Cancer is an energy that is like, I want to merge with you. I want to feel all the feelings that you're feeling. I have my 1 cup here and I'm ready to share it with somebody else. And I think this is really beautiful because today Venus entered Pisces, and Venus loves being in Pisces. It's exalted in Pisces. And I think we're all feeling the good vibes, which is so interesting that Valentine's Day occurs during Aquarius season, and Aquarius is a very Saturnian cold sign. But this year we have a Venus Neptune conjunction in the sign of Pisces on Valentine's Day. So I think this Valentine's Day is going to have a little different of an energy. And, Valentine's Day here in the United States is capitalistic, but I think feeling that vibration of love, because as we've spoken about, love is more than just romantic love. It is universal love. It's divine love. It's the love that you have for yourself and your life. And this is just like a beautiful card to start the day with. And today, as I'm filming this, today is January 27th, 2023. We do have an Aries moon right now that's going to move into Taurus, and the moon loves being in Taurus. So I think today and this weekend, we're going to be feeling like very good vibes. So with that being said, we're on day 7, and day 7 is start where you are. And just to recap, yesterday we spoke about signs and synchronicities, and like why it's important to make time for yourself to be still so that you can pay attention to the omens, the signs and synchronicities, because that's how you know you're on the right track or getting messages from your guides and spirits. Okay, so I'm just going to read the little quote at the top. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Author Ash. Before I begin, the title of this lesson comes with a major caveat. Your reality, and I put that in quotes, is a collection of so many things, in addition to the dreams and visions you are manifesting. You are not a blank slate into which you call a dream. Your reality includes your present moment, your relationships, your socioeconomic status, your ancestor stories, your intergenerational trauma. All should be considered and all should be honored. The fact that you are manifesting your dreams should not discount the healing you are doing or will do, and healing is always encouraged. That being said, this is the day to start thinking about the process that happens when you take the dreams you have uncovered through meditation, intention, and communication with your higher self and make them real. When I look back at my life and I remember how I successfully manifested, which, if you remember, was from day one, the things I wanted, I try to take note of how I did it, how I felt, and what I did. And the thing I remember the most is that I believed in my dreams, that I believed my dreams were possible, and I let them go. I had crazy trust and deep knowing that everything would happen. And while all of us have an easier time manifesting some things as opposed to others, a successful manifestation really boils down to our beliefs. I invite you to examine the feeling you get when you just know and apply it to the thing you are manifesting. And I don't know, the fact that this came out, the Two of Cups, I feel like a lot of unions are going to happen this year, especially with the North Node in Aries and the South Node in Libra. And we just came out of another Mars Venus axes, with the North Node being in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus, and the South Node being in Scorpio, with it being ruled in Mars. And this past year has been all about purging old emotions that are tied to the past and being more embodied and having more body literacy and being more embodied as human beings. And after July of this year, we're moving into a North Node in Mars, which is Aries, and a South Node in Libra, which is ruled by Venus. And Venus in Libra is all about partnerships and relationships. And I think the focus being more on self and like who we are, but then also integrating that within our relationships. And I think I've been getting this feeling, especially we just had a conjunction of Jupiter and Juno in Aries. Juno was the wife of Jupiter, and in Greek mythology, Jupiter was Zeus and Juno was Hera. So divine union, divine partnership, but most importantly with self first, as it was in the sign of Aries. And this doesn't happen very often. And it coincided with the new moon in Aquarius, where Saturn and Venus was also in a conjunction. There was so many conjunctions in the air. And that's not going to happen for a while either, because Saturn is moving out of Aquarius, and this happens every 29 years. And so Venus meeting up with Saturn in its home sign is like very much a commitment energy. But in order to get to this place, because Saturn also represents release and death and letting go, a lot of partnerships had to end in order for us to call in the partnerships that are truly meant for us in our highest timeline. So I don't know, maybe most of you are manifesting a business partner, friendships, platonic friendships, romantic love. But the fact that this came out is very telling. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading. If you can't imagine it, then it's more of a question of, well, why not? Ask yourself, why not? Why don't you believe it's possible? Some of us may believe in ourselves, but it is more of a challenge to find people who believe in us. Trust me, my Korean parents said we could be anything we imagined until it was time to pick a college. Then all of a sudden, it was like, you have to pick a major that provides you with financial stability. Growing up, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to be, but I knew I wanted to travel the world, create beautiful art, and meet different kinds of people, which is what I do now. So this is further confirmation that the soul always knows. In high school, my dream college was the Rhode Island School of Design. I knew that I wanted to do something creative, and art school seemed like the right choice for me. But listening to my parents' advice as an 18-year-old, instead I went to a liberal arts school. I don't regret that decision because I believe everything happens for a reason, but that one decision to choose safety and security, listening to someone else's thoughts about my life versus my gut, was the first time I would betray myself and my soul. As a result, art dropped out of my life, and in later years, I abandoned my creative goals altogether. Part of my healing process now is to create more time and space to create art again. And just as a little tangent, I started painting again, and it's not finished, and it doesn't look like me per se. But this title of this painting is called The Rebirth. This is technically supposed to be me, and like the phoenixing moment, of that moment where you realize like, oh, all of the things that, hold on, let me put this back before I start speaking. And I'm just like organizing now because I'm noticing things are out of place. That's my Virgo midheaven. That moment I realized probably sometime in 2021 that everything, while I was writing this book, that everything that I had been through was to get me to this place. And I say that a lot because at the time, being 18 and not really knowing myself, I was kind of at the whim of adults giving me advice. And again, I don't blame anybody at this point, because you go from like, definitely there's a stage where you blame people and like, why did you tell me to do this? Like, why didn't you encourage me? But then you come to a place where there's compassion and understanding of like, oh, multiple things had to happen at the same time. Like, I didn't know who I was. I was looking to my parents for advice. They had more life experience than me. And so they suggested that I go to a liberal arts college. And so when you know better, you do better. And so when I was doing this healing process, I was like, well, what's to stop me from creating art right now then? Like, that happened in the past, and I learned from that, and I learned and I extracted the wisdom. But now if I don't create art, that's on me. And so really what I had to do was change my routines a little bit, making more space and time for art, because that's why like I had to remind myself of why I love to create in the first place. So that was like a little tangent to show you that I was actually starting to create again. My parents are baby boomers who grew up in a historical period of scarcity. So, of course, from their perspective, they would prioritize stability and money over dreams and love for what I do. Knowing this, in addition to doing ancestral healing, which was so transformative for me, as it gave me compassion for what they went through, it gave me an understanding that I could be the chain breaker and heal my lineage by choosing something I loved after they had denied themselves. But to do that, I knew I had to completely overhaul my mindset, because traditionally in Korean culture, we have deep filial piety, which means reverence for our elders, parents, and ancestors, that can lead to placing their expectations above our own dreams. If what my parents said was true, you can be anything, then you want to be, and you hear that same messaging in children's books and movies, then what the heck happened? Why aren't more adults happy and satisfied? It's because our beliefs have been hijacked. We were taught to prioritize safety, security, status, money, and greed over what feels truly aligned within our hearts. What we really love to do as children can give us some clues about what we love to do as adults. We've lost the connection to our inner child, and therefore, at certain points in our lives, we stopped imagining and playing. We traded in our dreams in the pursuit to climb up the proverbial corporate ladder. If you are reading this and you are BIPOC, Black, Indigenous person of color, LGBTQIA+, or categorized as minority or an other, all the more power to you. Because consciously or unconsciously, by being aware of these things, you are already healing your perceptions. The karmic patterns, if you believe in that kind of thing, stops at you. Our creation of our reality directly impacts the collective and the collective dream. We shift our reality by the decisions we make on a day-to-day basis because we have free will. We usually resist because our minds are habitual. Humans like routines and habits to create safety. Just knowing that you can choose differently from what you were taught or experiences you were limited to is your ticket to freedom. So the exercise for today is, what parts have you abandoned? Take some time to meditate and sit in stillness. And if you haven't realized by now, by day 7, a lot of our exercises are meditative and about sitting in stillness, because again, you've heard this probably thousands and thousands of times. What you have, everything you need inside of you. all the tools and all the wisdom is within you. But what does that really mean? It means that you have to make time for that wisdom to come out. And we have everything we need through just us making time for ourselves and sitting with ourselves. Okay, so you may have missed an opportunity at some point in your life, but take this moment to give yourself and anyone who may have pressured you to take a path that was no longer in alignment with your highest self. Some grace, remember that you may feel that you have abandoned a part of yourself, but you can always recover it if you act with intention. Consider your vision and resolve to move forward towards opportunities that will help you manifest in the future. Take a moment to identify a part of yourself that has been neglected and abandoned and send kindness and attention to that part of your personality. So the go deeper exercise, if you feel called to journal more, elaborate on the above, write down all the times that you can remember that you did something or made a decision about something based on security and safety. When did you choose fear over love? Again, there's no judgment here. We're just recovering parts of ourselves that we've repressed and we've forgotten because, again, for me, manifestation is about coming back into wholeness. The etymology of the word wealth is health and wholeness, coming back into our true presence. And that's why I don't believe in niches. They say in social media to, become a niche, like really be specific. But I think that's wrong because even when people ask me, like, what do you do? It's really hard to distill that down to one word because I believe to become me and fully express who I am, I'm not just one thing. I'm an author, I'm a healer, I help people, I'm a teacher, but I'm also a student. I'm a creator and I'm an astrologer, I'm a psychologist, I am a daughter, I'm a nurturer of friendships, I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm a curious person, I'm an explorer, I'm a traveler, like all of these things make up who I am. And so how can I distill that into just one word? And so over time, what happens is people tell you to focus on a niche. People tell you, like, for marketing purposes or to concentrate on a topic for college to learn something, right? And because we live in late stage capitalism, we have to work to survive. We have to have a job. We have to have our physical needs met. So parts of us start like going back into the recesses of our mind, of our consciousness, and we start forgetting like all of those things that used to make us feel whole and feel good about ourselves and make us feel like life is worth living. So like, just again, for me, for example, because I was so focused on safety and security and making money and um, living, right? Because again, we still live in late stage capitalism where we have to work to make money to survive, and art and play and all of those things that I used to love as a kid and used to thrive on and used to really like light me up, I didn't make time for because they didn't make money. They weren't like helping me move up the corporate ladder. But those things are more important to me now because I've redefined for me personally what wealth means to me. Because again, I'm just going to keep repeating so it gets drilled into our brains that the etymology of the word wealth is health and wholeness. And money is just one part of that. Money is just financial health and um, like literacy and emotional intelligence around money is just one aspect of wealth. There's so many other things that make us feel wealthy because wealth is health. Wealth is us being whole. So for me, wealth is also the health of my relationships, feeling like I can go to somebody and ask for help, feeling supported by a community, feeling inspired by my community, feeling like I'm not alone. Wealth to me is my physical body feels like I have enough energy, and moving beyond just like the aesthetic look of what health means or like what people tell us health looks like, but actually having enough energy to carry my soul. My body is a vessel for my spirit so that I can show up and feel vibrant. Like that to me is health. Wealth to me means feeling like I'm in the flow of life. Yes, there are going to be ebbs. There's going to be times when my bank account's draining and there's not money coming in and there's not opportunities coming in. But wealth to me is an understanding that that's just the cycle of nature. That's just not normal, but I'm solid in my foundation where whatever happens in the environment, whatever happens in the flux of life, that I still feel solid in my foundation and I don't um, I'm not succumbed to scarcity mentality or lack mentality anymore because I've healed that. So this to me is what wealth means. This to me is more than just money. And when you get to that place within yourself, then that to me is alignment, which is the preview for week 2, days 8 through 14th is alignment. For me, that's what alignment means. It's like clear thoughts, belief systems that are in alignment with your feelings about yourself and your life, and taking inspired action. All those 3 things need to be in alignment for you to move about this world on your highest timeline. So for those of you who just joined, I pulled out the 2 of Cups, which is a beautiful like energy for all of us. So if obviously couldn't watch from the beginning, you can just watch the playback. But yeah, this was just a beautiful first week. Thank you so much for watching and being here. I absolutely love like reading your comments, reading what you're manifesting, reading where you are in this journey. And it's like my honor and pleasure to be able to show up every day and to do what I love to do and to be on my path, and why I'm here as like a vessel for something greater for all of us. So if you need to buy, or if you want to buy the book, all the links are in the description box. Please like and share this video so that more people can find it. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Bye.